Hello, my name is Adam Wilson. I'm here to talk to you today about one of the modern marvels of aviation technology, the SR-71 Blackbird. The SR-71 Blackbird was developed by Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, the rather hush-hush part of the production company, which has manufactured such aircraft as the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter, the B-2 stealth bomber, also known as the Spirit, and the U-2 Dragon Lady reconnaissance aircraft. As you can see, this aircraft has an ultralight design, a glider in essence. Very little maneuverability, hardly any airspeed. The SR-71 was meant to replace the U-2, especially during the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 1960, a U-2 was shot down because of the fact that it was inadvertently detected by a Russian surface-to-air missile system. Now, the CIA asked Lockheed Martin for this plan in 1958. It went through about 2 variants before it became the SR-71 and was shown off in Kadena Air Base in 1968. Also, when it was presented, the SR prefix was mistakenly reversed by President Johnson. It was originally supposed to be RS, as in Reconnaissance Aircraft 71, but instead it was named the Strategic Reconnaissance 71. Just a little fun fact there. Also, the plane holds the record for airspeed for a fixed-wing aircraft, 2,194 miles per hour. That's 3 times the speed of sound, or Mach 3. Now, also, something to note, normal jet pilots wear the simple Nomex flight suit. The SR-71 pilots wore a flight suit that was akin to a space shuttle's. This was because the bird flew so high that it was in the almost outer atmosphere of the planet itself. The pilots themselves were monitored for weight conditions and given a strict protein diet before each flight. Air crews were also monitored very strictly so that they would not divulge any of the secrets involved with this jet. In 1976, the numbers I've just mentioned, 2,194 miles per hour, that was when this record was set. No plane has ever rivaled it since. The closest any plane has ever come was the MiG-25 Foxbat. This jet was able to hold Mach 3 for a few seconds. The SR-71 can hold it for several hours. I'll give some examples of how fast this plane is. New York to London, 1 hour, 54 minutes, 56.4 seconds. London to Los Angeles, 3 hours, 47 minutes, 35.8 seconds. St. Louis to Cincinnati, 8 minutes. These are all from the Blackbird archivist Paul Kuchar on his article Blackbird Online. Now, many of the missions are still classified to this day, but there is one good example of how effective and fast the SR-71 really was. In 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, where Israel and Egypt were at war, Secretary of State Henry Kissinger was trying to defuse the situation. So the State Department tasked the SR-71 with the reconnaissance mission that it was best for, get in and get out. It flew over the armies of Israel and Egypt from Griffiss Air Force Base in New York. This was a 10-hour flight to and from, which shows you how fast the plane can go. Golda Meir, who was the premier of Israel at the time, said that she had not advanced at all on the Egyptian army. Secretary of State Kissinger presented her with photos saying that, in fact, the army had moved a few inches. Golda Meir said she would really stop moving this time. Now, due to costs, the U.S. Air Force had to retire the Blackbird in 1999. 3 of the planes were transferred to NASA for research and development of aerospace technology. It was originally supposed to replace the U-2, as I have said before, but ironically enough, the U-2 has wound up replacing it. There has been no plane like it, and there probably will never be again, but it is nice to be able to look back and see that such a plane did exist, and it was able to do such missions to such a secretive degree that still to this day it remains somewhat of a mystery to those who are trying to research it. Although, here's one thing to remember. It did cost $33 million a plane to make, so it is not surprising that it had the run it did and ended when it did. It is truly a marvel, and many people who are responsible for image analysis or maintenance on it still remember it with pride.